Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday with the Band from Hall Around Town Radio. I'm your host, Scott Hall. Good to have you with us today. Live audience out there checking in with us. Good to have you guys out there and joining us on this wonderful Wednesday here in Southwest Ohio. We're going to get right to it. Bring to the camera some friends of ours from the Homegrown Band today. And with me on the show is Nick, Pete, and Brandon. How you doing, fellas?
Good. Doing well.
You doing all right? Everybody doing all right? I see head nodding. There we go. All right. Good to have you with us, man. I'm excited to hear about your band. I've heard a lot about it. Frankly, I can say I've never been to a show yet. I've seen Pete play, but I've never seen the two of you guys play. So let me start with you, Nick, just for a minute. And let's talk about the Homegrown Band. How long has it been together?
It's been right around a year, right, give or take a few weeks, actually, probably. It all came together due to COVID, basically.
So tell me that story. Why did it come together because of COVID? That's interesting.
Well, we all started playing together at the Lucky Star at the open mic down there, and I didn't miss a week down there in almost a year. And then when the COVID stuff came in, we didn't have nowhere to play, and Brandon sent me a text one day and said, "Hey, you guys want to get together and play?" And I said, "Sure."
Fellas, we're having a little issue here. I'm having a little difficulty getting you to come in on the feed, so I think we're freezing up here. Give me just a second, and if you're in a spot with decent Wi-Fi, just hang in there just a minute. And can you hear me now? I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me now? Well, sometimes when you go live, you have these technical difficulties. So we're checking on it. Folks out there in the audience that are watching today, can you hear us okay? Let us know. I'm here. I hear you.
I can't hear him.
You're not hearing me. Well, that's interesting. I could hear you earlier. I don't either. All right. Let's see what's shaking here. Yeah, everybody can hear me. So I don't know what's happening on your end, fellas, but we're going to, I can hear you fine. I got you. We'll do sign language. How's that? Yes. Well, Liz can hear everybody, she said. So
I still can't hear him. Let me see.
We're hanging in there. We'll give it another minute, folks, and see what happens here. But sometimes when you go live, you run into these little difficulties. Everybody can hear you guys, and I can hear you. They can hear me, but you guys aren't hearing us, apparently. Let's see what shakes here. All right.
There we go.
Now you're going to have a big echo problem. If you can turn that down a little bit. Let's see now. Is that working?
That's working now. There we go.
Okay, good deal. Well, we're back, everybody. Everybody could hear us. They could all hear you, and I can hear you, but you couldn't hear me for some reason. I don't know why. It's the World Wide Web, man. That's what we'll blame it on today. All right. So let's get back to it. Nick, talk to me about this band being formed. You said Lucky Star's open mic night is where you all met, and you all been playing together there. So this has been going on for the last year during the COVID. And do you guys get together to practice? What goes on with the band?
Basically, it started out as just getting together just to play. And it kind of progressed to where it became a weekly thing and a weekly thing and a weekly thing. And in talking to the owners of Lucky Star, they were asked me about playing a show down there. And I asked Brandon to play with me, and he did. And it kind of just progressed from there and kind of turned into what it is today.
Well, and guys, if you're just joining the show, we're getting a lot of live viewers here. I want to make sure you know that you can ask a question about these guys and the Homegrown Band. If you have a question for them, throw it in there. I see Jerry saying, "Where y'all from?" And we're getting to that. Actually, they're all from Miamisburg or thereabouts, and that's how they met in Miamisburg, Ohio. And this pandemic brought this band together, but now you're going to start playing out a bunch. It looks like.
Yeah, we started booking up. I don't know. We started playing a show here and there. I don't know, maybe around August so last year, and then it's become to now we're booking out 2 to 3 times every month, and we've got stuff scheduled all the way into December.
That's awesome. Outstanding. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear music's coming back too, because you know, this last year's been tough on local musicians, and good to have things starting to open back up, and hopefully the outdoor venues and some of those patios we'll start getting some good gigs going for people out there. Now, I do see some folks jumping on. Tyler Van B, a great local musician. He's on with us. Thanks for being here, Tyler. Jerry, going to say hi to you. Stephen Bell. Thank you, Peggy James, for dropping by. Guys, we're on with the Homegrown Band out of Miamisburg, Ohio. I've got Nick there from, if you're looking at the screen from left to right, Pete's in the middle, and Brandon over there on the right-hand side. Now, Pete, I've seen you play a bunch with Ben and Pete here locally, or as you're referred to when Ben's absent, just Pete.
Yeah. Yeah. Just Pete.
And it's been a lot of fun. So how'd you hook up with these guys here besides the open mic?
That was the main way, really. I mean, I used to go. I go to Lucky Star a lot. I knew Brandon when he worked there. He actually worked there a while back, and
we were actually looking for a bass player for a while.
Yeah.
And we had played music with Pete countless times down at Lucky Star, and finally it just dawned on us. We're like, "Hey, Pete, want to come play bass?" And it's like, "Heck yeah, let's go!"
I love to play the bass. I love to slap at the bass.
So
there we go.
Is that your brother?
Yeah. So I was running the open mic then, and when we were all, we had sometimes it was just us three. We were playing for a while with Mark Roy, but Josh came in as our lead guitar a little later, and we just been having a great time.
So, Nick, what do you play?
I am rhythm guitar and the lead singer.
Okay, so and then Pete, you're in there with the bass. Now this is not a guitar gig for you, huh?
All right.
All right.
Backing vocals. That's sometimes I do the harmonica a little bit.
All right. How about you, Brandon?
I play the drums.
All right, you're drumming and Josh is lead guitaring, huh? And he's not with us today. He unfortunately had to work a real job today instead of doing the music world. But Josh, we're glad you're part of this band. So, guys, what genres do you play when you're out there? Playing to the masses in these places. What are you playing?
It's really kind of hard to tack down kind of like one thing because we try to pull stuff from everywhere. We kind of call it our greatest hits is what we play. We play stuff from Southern rock, classic rock, country stuff, old country stuff, and even a little bit of newer stuff. And it just kind of all comes together. I come from a bluegrass and older country background. Pete plays,
it's more classic rock mostly.
He was in a funk and reggae band.
I've played a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and then Josh came in with a lot of harder rock stuff, and it just kind of became a mesh of everything.
It's been nice. Everybody's been able to put their own touch on the music. We just started writing a couple more songs. We're hoping to get into the studio too here soon. Get a EP out in the next or within this year.
So give me some examples of some cover songs that people might hear if they stopped in to hear a Homegrown Band show.
A lot of people like Hard to Handle. That's probably the number one. People love when we play that one.
Honky Tonk Woman's a good one that people respond to. They love that.
White House Road, Tyler Childers stuff.
Give Me 3 Steps.
Yeah.
Whiskey Myers.
Whiskey Myers. Leonard Skinner. People like when we play that a lot. Then we get into older stuff. Like I do some stuff acoustic with just me doing like Merle Haggard stuff or stuff like that.
So a lot of these songs, I'm looking at you guys here and I'm thinking a lot of those songs you just mentioned are much older than you guys are.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
I was gonna say
We've got
now. The Rolling Stones, "Honky Tonk Woman." I mean, we're talking that's an old song, man. But you guys are out there playing it for the masses.
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up watching my dad go around and play bars all my life, and he was in a band for years, and a lot of that stuff's kind of transferred over to stuff I do now, the stuff I watched him do too when I was a kid.
So some of your influences then probably go way back in when in your childhood, I guess. Give me an example of music influences, Pete. Let me push you on this one because I've seen you play, and you have a really interesting set list when I've seen you play. So give me some of your favorite artists from way back when.
Well, the Beatles and the Stones and the Who and the Beach Boys are my 4 from right around in that time that I really love. And Zeppelin and Rush and Yes. But I like Sam Cooke a lot, and James Taylor, if you're thinking about more singer-songwriters. Jim Croce would be in there too. It's hard to think. There's a lot, but those are some of the big ones right there.
Well, Cody's giving you a big endorsement here in the comments. He says, if anyone hasn't seen these guys, definitely a must-see. Thank you for that comment, Cody. We appreciate it. And so, Brandon, how about you on musical?
I'm a little all over. I like a lot of funk. I also like country and rock. I guess Wolfpack, Rolling Stones, Tyler Childers. I don't know. Those are just a couple, but it ranges a little bit everywhere on the genre chart.
All right, I'm going to go deeper then. Talk to me about the funk. You said you're into funk music. I want to know who you like.
Grand Funk Railroad.
It's a good one.
Man, he put me on the spot. Wolfpack is a really good band. They're a newer band. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. Boogie Matrix Mechanism. They're out of Toledo. Put me on the spot now. I can't.
Well, you know, it shows our age difference a little because when I say I like to know players and Parliament Funkadelic and those groups that were in that category. I don't know if you know it, but Dayton has a funk museum that is made up of all these great bands that were from Dayton, Ohio.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's cool, and you guys, you look like an interesting mix of music between all of you. And you know, you mentioned the Stones and Tyler Childers, and so it sounds like you're bouncing all over the place. And you know, when you play those songs like "Hard to Handle" and the crowd's up there, how's it make you feel when they get excited about a song you're playing?
That's the best. There's nothing better than that. When people like what you play, there's nothing better than that. The only thing that's better than that is when they like something you wrote. That's the only thing that's better.
All right. And, you know, we all know nobody's in it for the money. That's not the big deal. Everybody's in it for the passion of music and loving to play in front of people. And I think the greatest endorsement you can get is like you just got on there a minute ago that said you guys are a must see, or the crowd coming out and leaving with smiles on their faces at the end of the night saying that was a great show. And, you know, Miamisburg's always been a place that people like to go see music. I mean, there's been, I can remember years and years. I mean, there's been night spots in Miamisburg that played live music. Even back in the 70s and 80s, there was a ton of them back then.
Yeah.
And you guys being called the Homegrown Band, is that got anything to do with this Miamisburg thing?
A little bit. Yeah, I'm fourth generation to be in Miamisburg. Third, I'm sorry. My grandpa's the first generation to be born in Miamisburg. My whole rest of my family's from Indiana. So, I mean, this is where I grew up at. You know, we all grew up right in here in Miamisburg, and then all the people that I know playing music and taught me stuff as growing up was all from right here. So it all kind of comes back.
Yeah, it all stems off from all meeting at Lucky Star too. It just kind of brought us all in, and we appreciate everything the owners have done there for us and helped us promote our shows. And
well, that's a little COVID positive news for me, I think, to hear that you guys came together kind of because of this thing, because there's so much negative news about the COVID, you know, that's hurting musicians and so on. So it's good to know that somebody finally has something that came together during the COVID a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we kind of looked at it as, where we started at. It gave us more than enough time to get a foundation built of music, to be able to go out and play. And it gave us time to learn everything and get together and figure out how we play best together and all that kind of stuff. It really was kind of a blessing in disguise for us as musically is concerned.
Good deal. And you see the endorsement you're getting there from Ronald Allen Cordy, who's throwing you up a little bit of love there, saying you guys are great and that Brandon, you're a great drummer. He says that's good to hear.
Yeah.
All right, let's change gears for a second. Let's talk about upcoming events for the Homegrown Band. And you were telling me before the show you've got some stuff coming up at a couple of Moose Lodges, and then you're going to play some venues here. Actually, a couple of my favorite venues. So let's talk about some of the places you're going to be playing in the next few months.
So April the 10th, which that's not this weekend, but the following, we'll be up at Indian Lake Moose Lodge. And then the following weekend on Friday, the 16th, we'll be at the Miamisburg Moose Lodge. And so we got those two for this month. We try not to do more than that because I got young kids. So I tried to, balance everything. But as far as May is concerned, May 1st, we're at Steve and Tammy's Tavern on Byers. Then it's May the 8th, we'll be at Good Time Charlie's. It's an acoustic show. And then May, I think it's the 21st, we'll be at Heather's.
Oh, Heather's Patio. Love Heather's Patio. That'll be a good one for you. And that place,
that'll be our first one.
Man, it holds that place will hold 250 people better. So you can pack the room out there. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? And Pete, I've got a question for you. Pete's the silent guy in the back here. I've got a question for you, Pete. Let me ask you this. You've played with Ben a bunch, and like I said, I've seen you play with him, and you're still doing that. Yeah. But how's it feel to be out here doing several different projects and things? And because these other guys are focusing on the Homegrown Band, obviously, and they're busy, but you're doing a lot of different projects. How's it feel when you kind of mix and match all that?
I love the variety. I love I get to play bass with this. With Ben, I'm playing guitar the whole time, which is great. But I love playing bass. And I love learning these songs. And there's some songs. I didn't come from much of a country background, so I'm learning songs. I'll be like, what's that one in E that we do? And he's like, it's White House Road or whatever. And I'm learning them, and I'm getting them in my head. Like I know how to play a song before I know the name sometimes, but it's great. I love it. The David Allan Coe one, I was like, can we just practice that one more time?
Yeah.
Because it's a little different than I expect, and it's a great challenge. It's a lot of fun.
Pete's been a great addition to the band, as well as Josh Reed. He stepped in on lead guitar, 5 months ago?
There's probably less than that.
Less than that.
It's probably around November. It probably was about 5. Yeah, you're right.
He really stepped up and learned all the material, and now he's, got his permanent spot here, and he's definitely been a good addition as well as Pete. It's been nice.
Outstanding. Scotty Long giving you a shout out saying Homegrown puts on a great show. Love Brandon's drum solo. Brandon, you're getting a lot of love today, my friend.
Dang.
Yeah, he is. He's getting a lot of love. Hi, Jesse Lynn from the Lebanon Grand Opry House. Good to have you with us. Thanks for dropping by today. So, guys, you're playing a bunch. You're going to get a lot more dates, it sounds like. There's a lot of people that like what you're doing out there. There's a whole lot of buzz going on about you. I've heard a lot of people talk about you. I've got to get to a show and see it myself so we can report it on our weekend update and so on. But I want to touch on one more thing here. How do you keep a band together? How do you guys keep a band? Because you know how bands go. Everybody laughs when I say that. How do you guys keep a band together, especially during these times?
It's honestly, for us, it's really easy. We all take criticism very well, and we're all nice about it. If I mess up, I want them to tell me I mess up. Brandon's the same way, as is Pete and as is Josh. We're very open with each other, and we're willing to take that criticism for the benefit of the music and to better ourselves playing music. I mean, that's really what it boils down to, is just having great friendships and being able to communicate properly. And that's really what it boils down to.
Yeah, keeping an open mind, respecting other people's, everybody's got families. We all know, we all need our own time aside from playing music.
Yeah.
And just.
We've all got full-time jobs. And like I said, I got 2 small kids. So, we all try to balance things. I think that has a lot to do with it too, is balancing things kind of keeps everybody in that good mood, and it doesn't begin to drag on you like, oh, I got practice tonight. You still have that breakup time where you can sit at home and just relax. I think.
Well, and you see that happen. You see some home tension start to happen with bands, because as the popularity grows of a band, obviously musicians are in it. They're like, yeah, I want to play, man. I want to play. Well, it goes from 1 gig a week to 2 to 3 to 4, and pretty soon you're never home. And mama's home taking care of the babies. That always doesn't go over so well. So you see that happen a lot. And I love what you said about balance. I think that's a huge thing in the band world, is to find a balance to get away from the music a little bit too and enjoy some other parts of life. And I even find myself, I try to get out and see a lot of bands, and there's just days where you finally say, I need a night at home.
Right.
I just need to kick back and watch a movie or something.
I mean, I have other hobbies that these guys have other hobbies that we enjoy as well. So, like I said, balancing that stuff out really makes a big difference. We have all agreed, no more than this many shows in a month, and it helps. It really does.
Having band members where everybody takes care of themselves, everybody's responsible, like I said, respecting each other, and just, having an open mind. When we come to practice, we're here to work. When we go to shows, we're there to work. But we also have fun doing it. That's the biggest plus of what we call work, I guess, is really play.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Sounds like you guys have a great mix of people, and people that want to show up to work. That's the other thing with bands, is making sure that when we have a gig and they're expecting us to play, that everybody shows up that night. And
my grandpa always told me, because he played music too, and he always told me when I was a kid, music is a job. You're there to make people happy and have everybody have a good time. And when everybody else is pulling their weight, things really help, and things come together a lot better that way.
The gratification is a lot higher too.
Yeah, when everybody pulls their weight, for sure.
All right, so here's my final couple questions. Number one, anybody take it that wants to. Give me a musical memory that you have that will stick with you for a lifetime.
I got one.
Go ahead.
I got one. We did a show. I won't say where it was, but we were playing, and it was right in the middle of a song. I forget what song we were playing, but Josh was playing a solo and just eyes closed going at it. And some lady bumped into her speaker. She was dancing and tripped up and bumped into the speaker. And it was going down. And I said, grab that. And he turned around and reached over and grabbed it and stood it back up and jumped back into it and never missed a lick. It was hilarious.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, I'm gonna pick Pete's brain too. Pete, in the middle back here. If you could play on stage with anybody famous, past or present, who would it be?
Oh man, that's a good question.
Well, I always, a lot of times I talk to my daughter about this. This is a little different than your question, but if I could have a dream job as a musician, buckle your seatbelts. I would want to be the drummer for Green Day. It's just so fun. It's so great. I love him. But who could I play with on stage? Yeah.
It's a really good question.
It'd be Rush.
Rush. Okay, there you go.
Or, I don't know. That's a great question.
That's my favorite question. And our friend Dan from Miamisburg actually sent me a sound clip. He used to come to an event I did, and here's Dan right here.
Great question, Scott.
Thank you, Dan. All right. So you may know Dan. You've met Dan. I know Pete knows Dan and Devin from Miamisburg, but they're great people. And that was Dan. Thank you for chiming in today, Dan.
He's the one, I think, that made up Just Pete. But does Brandon get a question? That's the question.
Yes, he was.
He doesn't want.
Well, I've got one for Brandon.
He's got one for you. You don't want to be left out.
I've got one for Brandon. You ready, Brandon? I've got one for you.
Let's go.
All right. Your favorite album of all time?
Oh man. I think that's even worse.
It's hard.
That's even harder.
Probably with Tension by Dream Theater. I remember listening to that all the time in high school. Mike Portnoy was probably one of the main inspirations for me to start playing drums. That one just comes to mind right off bat. There's definitely other good albums that I could say, but that one's probably like hits home for me.
Man, Brandon goes deep here in the closet. He does with some of this stuff. That's pretty good.
Give me a question, I gotta answer.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, guys, they can follow you on Facebook. You have a Facebook page. We want to encourage everybody to go like the Homegrown Band on Facebook, right?
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Now, there are several of those on Facebook as I was looking up to tag you guys in a post we did earlier today. So there are several homegrown bands across the country. So be careful. Make sure you get the one that's here in the 937 Miamisburg area if you can, folks, and choose those guys. And anything else you guys want to share with the folks out there today?
We hope to see you guys when we play out. It'd be great to see new faces and old faces. It's awesome to see everybody when we get out there.
All ages are always welcome at our shows. We got a little bit for kind of every age. So
Yeah.
Yep, and we keep our shows clean. That's something we've all agreed upon, is to keep it clean, because if our families show up, we want to be presentable.
Perfect. That's excellent as well. And, a lot of places now are opening up those patios, especially to, the families who like to take the kids with them and that. And before it's over, you have all the kids up dancing on the dance floor and having a good time. And that's fun to watch. So, guys, it's been a great pleasure talking to you guys today. I've had Nick, Pete, and Brandon on from the Homegrown Band. They're out of Miamisburg, Ohio. Please, guys, if you can, look them up and like their page on Facebook. We appreciate that. I appreciate what you're doing, guys. I love the comments you made and, staying true. Good stuff.
Thank you for all you do too. It's a pleasure to have somebody that wants to help out local musicians. It's awesome.
Well, you're most welcome, and that's what we're here for, guys. The music community in the tri-state is a strong one, and we love the folks. David Thornton was on here a minute ago. Missed saying hi to him. He gave you a shout out, Pete, but David Thornton, an incredible musician locally as well. And it's fun. It's fun to meet all these people and guys like you who I haven't had a chance to see. And Tyler Van B giving you a shout out, saying looking forward to seeing you guys soon. And I am as well. Tyler, we'll have to make it a play date, as they call it. We'll go out one night and see those guys. And Scotty Long, thank you for that comment as well. Appreciate that. Scotty Long from DJ Songs out there with us today. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on the program. This has been Wednesday with the Band. We'll see you real soon at a show near you guys. Hopefully, maybe Heather's on the patio.
Yeah, wonderful to see you.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for being here, everybody. We appreciate you today, folks. And we will be certainly with you here with Wednesdays with the Band, coming your way every Wednesday. Next Wednesday, Kevin Cooper joins us from the Cincinnati region. Kevin Cooper Music. That'll be a lot of fun. Join us tomorrow on Thursday for Who's Playing Out in the Tri-State. I'll bring you the best of who's playing out in the area. You'll want to check that out. Thanks for watching today. Hope you had a great time with us. We'll see you next time here at All Around Town Radio. Bye for now.